from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football is.
Good morning and welcome again to the GDL Footy Show, coming to you out of Geelong on another beautiful Saturday morning with a big round of footy on this afternoon. Very excited indeed. We get closer and closer to GDFL finals time 2012. It'll be fantastic indeed. Big games last weekend. Anarchy Roos, too good for the Geelong West Cheetahs. Jamie Pittman kicking 10 goals. Great effort there by Jamie. Belpost still. Gee, they're really becoming a great side now towards the end of the season. Too good for the Ducks. Joel Page kicking 5 goals for them. Crier and Winchelsea, a heartbreaking day for Winchelsea. Practically had the game in the bag, and Crier come across at the last minute and got a point in front, and honk goes the siren. It's all over the Blues again, with Partridge and O'Toole sharing the goal kicking at Crier there with 5 goals apiece. Bannockburn, much too good for the Inverleigh Hawks, and maybe that's put past to Inverleigh's big chance of making the final 5 this year. Tommy Tigers, too good for the Belmont Lions. Poor old Belmont Lions. They've got a special guest from the Lions coming in later on this morning. Lucas Forbes for the Tommy Tigers kicking 8. A bit of a rumour going around about Lucas Forbes, but very careful because Saturday morning you never know what might have happened yesterday. And East Geelong, the 94.7 match of the day, broke the Magpies hard in the last 5 minutes of that game. 100 games for the game for Brad Bopper Coy for the East Geelong Footy Club. But gee, it was an exciting game, an exciting finish, and maybe it's to curtains now for the North Geelong Footy Club for 2012. Hello, I'm Dick Philpott, and once again I have assembled some of the biggest names and brains in country football to eradicate, adjudicate, communicate, but definitely not procrastinate. The first of all, #1 commentator in country footy, Eric Nicholls. Good morning, Eric.
Morning, Dick. Nice to see you back again, and you weren't very happy toward the finish last Saturday.
No, a bit silky, but never mind. We'll get over that. Now, Eric, as you can see, my very special friend here, Donna. Yes, say good morning, Donna. Good morning, Eric. That's very good, Donna. You let me move her lips. Donna and I were driving into the studio this morning. And yes, she came with me this morning because she had to do the netball show before the show. And you're talking over, we're right, we tell them, we're okay, we'll tell them. And what happened was we come across this bus, and it was driven by a very attractive young lady, and there were 7 people in the bus. This is absolutely truthful. And I ran into it, bit of a ding. And some bloke got out of the bus, and he looked a little bit like a bloke that has on a show called Grubby, right? Only a very small bloke. And I said, what's going on? He said, no, I'm happy. I said, what about the other 6? Are they all right? Oh, Eric and I just having a great gig. We love that, do we, Donna? Right? We love that, didn't we? Yeah, Donna was a windscreen wiper on the way in. That's okay. And of course, the other man who needs no introduction whatsoever. Now we've got you. I reckon it was the funniest gag I've ever done.
It's the worst joke you've ever told in your life. No one in. There's 80 people in here. No one laughed.
The studio audience has gone crazy. We haven't got a microphone out there. The smallest man in country footy, because he's on cushions this morning to make him look bigger. Richard Grubby, Cations. Good morning, Shorty.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. No comeback.
No comeback. I'm not going to sink to your level. And besides, I couldn't tell a joke any worse than that. That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
So there was so what? There's 7 divorces, but it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? No good? Okay. Oh dear. Right, we're going to throw into an interview now that Eric did with Tom Perrott, the coach of the East Geelong Eagles, at the big game at Keith Parkley Oval last week. Here's Eric.
And a hard, tough game, as I said. Where do you think you finally won it at the finish?
Look, at three-quarter time and also at half-time, I just challenged our boys. I said it's just about how much we want to win the footy. The contested possession, you could see the centre of the ground, a bit chopped up, a bit muddy, and I felt that if we could get first hands on the ball and give our forwards, isolate our forwards, and get it, a 6-on-6 rather than allowing their midfielders to roll back, I thought that we're going to give ourselves the best chance to put a good score on the board.
You seem to have great difficulty clearing from the centre most of the day, and your work was basically bounding off half-back line. Yeah, it was. It was one of those things. It was just a huge arm wrestle. It was like in the middle of the ground, just a big puddle, and the ball hits the ground, and arm wrestles and a couple of free kicks going either way, and repeat stoppages. And I felt that our half-backs were able to, obviously nullify their opponents at times, and also dominate possession going forward in terms of our setups and the way we like to move the ball. Murphy reasonably well covered for the day. You found a goal sneak. Reece Cameron, does he normally kick goals? Yeah, well, Camo at the start of the year, he was playing high half forward early in the year, and then he broke his arm against Cryo, and he's just his second game back, so he's just going to get a bit more touch. And he's a good size, Camo, and he's got a huge engine for for a boy his size, and he's 6'3", and he can run all day, and he's got great skills. He's he can kick just as far on either side of the body, so we've sort of been just waiting for him to sort of get those opportunities. And like you said, Murph was well held, and his opponent, all credit to him. But
look, Murph's one of those blokes, it's hard to keep him down all day, so, you know, he generally does pop up and still do his job.
And it must be nice when the game really has to be won on a crucial last quarter. You have an experienced campaigner like Ricky O'Toole, who just gets in the right place at the right time. He gets better with age.
He does. He's like a fine wine, old Rick. But no, he's been going really well, and I thought Gibbsy did a really good job on him in the first half. And I think Ricky, at half time, he's probably had to rethink the way he was going to go about things. And in the second half, I thought he was so important for us with the inside footy. And sometimes people from the sidelines don't probably see how much influence Ricky actually has because he's such an inside footballer. He's not one of those guys that'll get outside and take 2-3 bounces and kick a long goal. He does all the hard work. He's prepared to push roll the sleeves up and get his knees dirty. And for that, we're always eternally grateful.
And I guess, Tom, at the end of the day, with the finals in mind, how important was that win? Oh,
it's extremely important, but so's next week. We've got Werribee next week, and they'll probably be looking to bounce back against us from the first time we played them, and they're extremely proud club, and they'll be looking to come down and try and upset us at home, and we'll be obviously looking to try and maintain the rage and hopefully get the job done against them at the end of the day.
All right, Tom, thanks very much for a few moments and congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks, bye.
We're not allowed to do it again, Donna, because we might have stuffed that up, actually, that gag, but we're going to have another crack later on. So go back there for a while. Anyway, that's all right. Eric, once again, a magnificent interview there with Tom Perrott, the coach of the East Geelong Eagles. Eric will be back again next Saturday morning with another fantastic interview. We're going to have a look at the ladder. Here it is on the screen there. Not good for if you're a North Geelong supporter, but great if you're a Tommy Tigers person. Have a look at that. The Tommy Tigers, the Violet Crumble sitting on top, undefeated. They've had a draw, but nobody's knocked them off just yet. The Belpost Hill Panthers going along very nicely indeed. They stand out, those two clubs, followed by the East Geelong Eagles, Anarchy Roos, Bannockburn Tigers, and just outside the 5 percentage and 1 win, the Werribee Centrals Ducks, followed by the North Geelong Magpies. Maybe a bit hard for them from there. Inverleigh probably gone now. Cry Devils, Belmont Lions, Geelong West Cheetahs, and of course the Winchelsea Blues, the boys from the Gun Club, yet to open their account for 2012. But they came within a bee's diaphragm on doing it on Saturday, Grubby, didn't they?
Oh, they certainly did. And what was it, 1 point?
1 point.
Actually, Eric had them winning on Saturday because Alan Moore gave us the wrong score. So we've had them winning.
The guru, Alan Moore.
Yeah, we've had them winning. No wonder. I told they should have kept Jimmy McCauley. But
Now, I did stuff that joke up at the start, but there was a little thing, an after thing of that joke, because when I went up to the bus to see if you were right, I could hear someone singing and I could hear this voice going, "We are Geelong, the greatest." And I turned around to Donna. Didn't I, Donna? And I said, "Dobie's alive, that's the main thing."
mate, we're cutting it fine here. We're trying to get time in that, and you're carrying on like a galah. Come on, move on.
Did she call you a galah? Now, we're going to take us to a break, pace. I'm getting a lot of trouble this morning because I think I might have stuffed the gag up right from the start. When we come back, we've got Mitch Clear with the Colts and a very special segment, a tribute that Eric and I would like to pay to one of the legends in country football. Back after this.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
And welcome back. And as we have every Saturday morning this time, we have everything that's Colts footy in Geelong. We had Graham Rawlins, a special guest last week, but we're back to Mitch Cleary. Here's Mitch.
Thanks, Dick. Only 3 of the 4 Colts leagues kick off this morning, with Division 1 having a well-earned break after 8 matches of Colts action. As the ladder after the bye rounds sees the mighty St Mary's in first place, followed by Torquay, Colac and St Joseph's. Now moving across to Division 2, and with 5 rounds remaining in Division 2, the places for finals are starting to heat up. For GDFL fans, Werribee Centrals travel to Leopold in first place this morning, with the Lions in 5th. However, just 2 games separates these 2 sides. The Lions a chance to move to 2nd spot if results go their way this morning. Other games see Bannockburn travel to Bell Park, St Albans host Geelong Amateur, and Bowen Heads travel to Geelong Western Peters' West Oval. In Division 3, Inverleigh plays host to North Geelong in an all-GDFL encounter for those GDFL fans this morning. The Hawks sit in first place, while the Magpies are in 4th, so it should be set for a ripper of a clash this morning. In another intriguing encounter, Belmont Lions plays host to St Mary's 2 at Myers Reserve. An intriguing venue for this match, with the Belmont Lions seniors to be playing at Belpost Hill later in the afternoon. The reason for this clash to be played at Myers Reserve. Belmont could move to first place should they win and North Geelong lose this morning. Other matches in Division 3 see Queenscliff play Anglesea, Mottawarri host Drysdale, and South Barwon's second side play host to North Shore. In Division 4, Anarchy travels to Port Arlington, an hour up the road for the Roos. The Demons in first place. The Roos have opportunities to all but seal a finals place with a big win this morning. In other games, St Joseph's 2s plays Grovedale 2s, East Geelong plays host to Ocean Grove 2, and Corio plays host to Torquay 2. That's all I've in Colts this morning, Dick. Be sure to catch you next week.
Thanks, Mitch. And Mitch Cleary will be back again next Saturday morning to talk everything that is Colts footy in this fabulous region of ours. Now, we indicated at the start of the show there was a very sad occasion this week that once again we lost a very special person that's associated with our football and local football indeed here in Geelong. His name is synonymous around the GDFL and the East Geelong and the Thompson Footy Club. They play for every year the Polly Rankin Shield. And it is with regret that we announce the passing of Polly Rankin, and a great loss to local football indeed, and a very highly respected person, a well-loved person from those two clubs and football in general. And I'll just have a talk to my friend Eric Nicholls, who had the privilege to know Polly and played some footy with him at some stage.
Certainly played against him, Dick, and yeah, it's a sad day. I was lucky enough as an oldie at Bell Park to play in Ian Polly Rankin's first season with East Geelong, 16 to 17 years of age, great player. Fantastic personality around football generally. Had the good fortune a couple of years ago to go with Noel Fanning, who from Guest Media. We did an interview, and actually Noel played against Polly on a number of occasions. One of the few players that Noel ever didn't fix up because he could never catch Polly. But a fantastic interview,
Yep.
and I'll never forget to Noel and
Yep.
Polly just couldn't stop saying thank you. He was that sort of a guy, and you know, to two footy clubs, East Geelong and Thompson, and to the Rankin family, we certainly offer our condolences.
We certainly do, Eric, and yes, it's very sad because we've had a bad start to the year. We of course lost Max Finnenbaugh a couple of weeks ago, and to lose Ian Polly Rankin as well. Very sad indeed, and I reiterate what Eric said. On behalf of everyone here at the Footy Show, we pass our deepest condolences to his family and to everyone associated with the Thompson Tigers and the East Geelong Eagles. A sad time indeed for us all. Now, I said it also at the start of the show, we have a very special guest, and he is from the Winter Resort. He's the head man out there. He's the coach of the Belmont Lions, Paul Nickley. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Eric.
Good to have you on, mate. Now, we had you on the show last year, and it was your first year as coach with the Belmont Lions.
Yes.
What's going on out there? Is there anything's changed since last year? Have you seen improvement, or is there we've still got a work in progress going on?
Yeah, probably a bit of both, Dick. Obviously, our win-loss ratio is not ideal where we'd like to be right at the minute. And going back to pre-season, very strong pre-season. We put a lot of time and effort into recruiting. We did lose a couple of those key recruits who we invested a lot of time in, you know, with work opportunities taking them away. And that set us on the back foot a little bit. We did have a tough draw. 4 of the top 5 in the first month of footy has probably hurt us as we've gone forward during that time. And then, you know, injuries play a part, and, you know, we've probably had 6, you know, pretty much season-ending injuries, which has set us on the back foot. On the whole, we've had 2 or 3 performances which I would call subpar or below par. But the last 3 or 4 weeks, we're committed to the task. We're lacking in a couple of areas, so we need to hang in there for the next 6 weeks, and certainly in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the year we'd like to salvage something out of that, looking forward to 2013.
Paul, I didn't broadcast a lot last year, but I'm told that you were arguably the best side out of the 5 last year, and certainly had some fantastic wins toward the end of the season. What changed so dramatically in the off-season? Is it completely, as you've just indicated, personnel and just coming together again?
Yeah, all of what I just said. Perhaps we got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Winning 6 of our last 7 probably even exceeded my expectations towards the end of last year. Having said that, we built on that, and, you know, we went into this year, you know, obviously extremely hopeful to improve that win-loss ratio. It hasn't gone that way, but the club within itself and the guys that are representing the club, both senior and reserve level at the minute, are the ones that will be coming forward with us. And obviously we need to sit down in the next 3 or 4 weeks as well and start planning for 2013.
We've got 6 games to go. Can we suggest that Belmont Lions would love to have a huge impact on who might play finals?
Absolutely. We go out there trying to win every game. Obviously Bell Post Hill today, quality opposition. Thompson last week, But yeah, we go out with a winning mindset, and we'll do our darndest to win today and the ensuing 5 weeks.
Just looking at some footage on the screen of the Belmont Lions taking on the Tommy Tigers out there at the Winter Resort. Not a bad crowd out there. You're getting some good crowds there, particularly well in front of the social rooms there. It's gratifying to see the support's still good there.
Yeah, the crowd on Saturday was very, very good. We had good representation, as did Thompson, and the game was played in very good spirits. And the scoreline, even though it shows 70-odd points, I was quite happy with our intent, our commitment. Perhaps our purpose and method let us down at times, but we did have a decent crack at them.
Paul, thanks for coming in this morning, and we certainly wish the Belmont Lions every success for not only the rest of 2012, but going on to next year, of course. I know you've got a big task on this afternoon up at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, and I guess you'd love to see them have a win, and I suppose when the boys come on later on, I can probably guess who they'll probably go for, but I guess you treat every game now as a bit of a finals game, and as Eric said, if you can make some impact of what's going on up there in the top 5, and if you can knock off or get close to Belpo still, you probably know your season's will definitely not probably waste at this stage. So all the best, mate. Thanks for coming in, and all the best down there at the Torquay Tats Lotto, mate.
No worries. Thanks, Dick.
Still going on there? Any First Division winners?
Obviously, you haven't won it in the last 12 months.
No, I
haven't. Still here?
I wouldn't be sitting there on a Saturday morning, I can tell you that right now. Neither would Donna.
Just quickly, if I could, Dick, just a couple of things. Saturday, the 28th of July, is the Belmont Lions major reverse raffle night.
Yes.
If they could make yourselves available for that. And Saturday, the 4th of August, is our sponsors' lunch down at the club rooms at Winter Resort.
Great sponsors' lunch days, all of them, every club. We had a great day at North Geelong last week. Paul Nigro, the coach of the Belmont Lions. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the boys after this.
From all around Geelong, I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
And welcome back. And of course, yes, we've got a big round of footy on this afternoon, and nothing bigger than the blockbuster out of the Godfrey Street. I started to go with me teeth then. The Godfrey Street Thunderdome. That's at 94.7 The Pulse from 1:30 this afternoon. It's the Tommy Tigers, the Violent Crumbles, and they take on the Yannicky Roos, who were decimated by injuries not so long ago, but they seem to have found a little bit of form back last weekend, Eric, and this will be an absolute beauty.
Absolutely, Dick, and probably for Thompson, it doesn't mean a great deal. They're going to finish 1-2 somewhere along the way at the end of the season. But Yannicky, they're in a huge contest for those last 3 positions in the top 5. It was good for them last week. They had Rickett come back, Salvino come back from injury, both played very well. But the thing that would concern Yannicky today, I think, Warland and McLeod back into the side last week and playing very, very well. Warland is a bloke that can play any position, I reckon, on the ground, and he's been a huge asset to that Thompson side. And I think Grubby, the job's really in front of Yannicky today.
Well, it most definitely is, because as you can see, Thompson's sitting on top of the ladder without having even been beaten yet. But there was a rumour going around that Lucas Forbes is injured. Now, I don't know how true that is. We'll find that out today.
I know who started the rumour too.
Well, he's sitting on my right, is he? Or is he sitting on your... No, he's sitting on your left, that's right.
Yeah.
But if he's not playing, that leaves a gaping hole there.
Yeah. We're going to go right. We're going to steer right out of this one. Unbelievable. It'll look really stupid, won't we, if he's playing this afternoon? And we hope he is.
Well,
so
Eric will.
No different than normal.
Geez, you've got Eric, unbelievable. Yeah, so a big game on this afternoon, that one. It is the 94.7 match of the day. 94.7 The Pulse, your home of country football. You'll catch it at 1:30 this afternoon with the little man and the greatest man. And also, who we got this week? We got Jason Doherty back.
Yeah, he's back.
Jason's been around for a while.
Back off the interchange bench again. What do we do to Andrew Downey? Give him the flick.
He's on the scrap heap. Good luck to him too. He was hopeless. He was hopeless.
That's terrible.
Actually, he was bloody terrific.
He's doing a good job.
He really was. He really was. He did a terrific job for us.
Yeah, I call him the Dennis Committee of Country Football.
Oh, not that good, but he's...
Fair enough.
What happened to Dennis Committee? I thought he was coming back.
No, we've got a special guest coming back in a couple of weeks. He's overseas at the moment, but he's going to come back.
Right.
Oh, we go on, don't we? Fair dinkum we do. Out at the Inverleigh Oval, talk about two sides that need to win to give themselves any chance at all of a chance of making the final 5, which, of course, all comes down to the sides above them doing something silly. The Inverleigh Hawks take on the North Geelong Magpies, and Grubby. North Geelong were a bit stiff last week. Inverleigh, though, they didn't follow up with the form that they've been bringing in the last couple of weeks. So who's going to win?
Well, I think North Geelong will win. Look, I actually, in that game, right near the end, I thought I saw you in the bar sooking. Doing a bit of crying there, but...
it wasn't heavy.
But look, I just think North Geelong played pretty well, actually. And with their draw, they're not out of it yet. I think Inverleigh are now out of it.
Yep.
And I think North Geelong needed a bit more. So I'll go for North Geelong.
Eric, you're right there that it is a big game for North Geelong. They've got to win every game now, and it starts this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, look, they were a bit stiff last week. Briggy hadn't run too far. They'd have won that game.
Don't bring it up
last
again.
week,
Briggy wasn't happy.
No, but I mean, that was the reality of the day. They
I know.
probably should have won the game, but no, North Geelong desperately need to win today. But by the same token, Inverleigh are going to have a big say in who plays in the finals.
I mean, I know that was a turning point of the game, but you feel sorry for a bloke like Briggy. That when those things happen with a couple of minutes to go, everyone says that was the turning point. There was probably something early in the first quarter that probably changed things as well. But when it's at the end, you only remember that little bit, don't you? So poor Briggy's got to live with that, I suppose.
Yeah, but still, if he doesn't run too far and kicks it, he can be the hero. So he can live with that. So
absolutely.
it goes one way or the other.
Absolutely. And of course, out at the Kevin O'Leary Oval, the East Geelong Eagles, talking about East Geelong, who got home against the Magpies last week, they take on Grubby's Ducks, the Werribee Central's footy club. Eric, well, Werribee Central's form has been up and down a bit this year. East Geelong maybe proved that they're a genuine contender now.
Yeah, remarkable. They lost the game last week. Werribee went to 6th position. So, but the two sides there are 2 of the 5 vying for 3 positions, and huge game this afternoon. East Geelong must have played very, very well. Second game of the year, they defeated Werribee very comfortably. I think on the basis of that form, today playing at home, I think they might beat Werribee and just make Werribee's job that little bit more difficult.
Can your Ducks get up, mate?
I really don't care because I was actually looking through the record the other week in the umpires' milestones.
Yep.
Noel Hooper, 1,200 games. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable.
1,200 games, a great umpire in his day, a great bloke. Well done, mate.
Yeah, I reckon that's fantastic.
Great stuff, Noel Hooper.
That's a lot of games, isn't it? That is fantastic. And of course, out at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, the Bellpost Hill Panthers, who are absolutely on fire at the moment, take on the Belmont Lions. Well, I'll go to you, Eric. Do you think that, or no, I'll go to you, Grubby, do you think there's any chance in the world that the Belmont Lions could cause a major upset?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, especially out there. Sometimes you can give them a chance if it's at the Winter Resort, but up at the Bellpost Hill Oval, I think Bellpost Hill will cream them. They've got too many good players, and they've really got to tune themselves now for their run home to the finals. I think, well, they're second on the ladder. I think they're number 1 at the moment, and I just think they'll be far too good for Belmont Lions.
Bellpost Hill easily, Eric?
Oh, yes, I think boost their percentage today.
Yeah, that's the sad part about footy sometimes, isn't it? Out at the Cry Devils playground, they got home by 1 point over poor old Winchelsea last week and find themselves now in a situation where their confidence is up, and they play a side that they normally have a fair good battle with, the Bannockburn Tigers. And well, I'll go to you, Grub. Do you think? No, I'll go to Eric. Yeah, I've got to get my script right, folks. I get it wrong every time. Eric, do you reckon Cry can continue on their winning form?
I don't think so, Dick, because the game means so much to Bannockburn. The 31 shots last week they had Corio and could only win by a point. I think Bannockburn everything to play for today, and I think should win.
Cry, can they make it 2 on the trot?
No, they can't. Bannockburn needed too much.
Yeah, I must agree with that. I think Bannockburn will be too good to the Tigers. Yeah, like Cruggy, Billy Kelly, I reckon they get a fair chance there. Now, out at the Church Street, we've got to get some laughs out
Where's
of the
Daryl Jones? Can you do him?
No, not here at the moment. He's doing some work around Albury. Out at the Church Street over the Geelong West Cheetahs, and they're not having a real good season, but they talk about a side who hasn't had a good crack this year. Poor old Winchelsea nearly got across the line last week, missed out by 1 point. This is probably the only opportunity they've got, Grubby, I'd say, to have a win. Can they do it against Geelong West?
Look, I don't think so, and I have to disagree with you there. I just reckon Geelong West are having a pretty good season.
Okay.
They didn't win any games in the last couple of years, hardly.
No, true.
They've won 2 this year. They should win today to make 3. Hopefully they get a few players and a few sponsors. They go on and win 5 or 6 next year and start their climb up the ladder. And I think they'll start. I think they'll win.
Any chance, Winchelsea, Eric?
It's like 16 goals for again this week, they'll win.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, it should be a fantastic day. Don't forget, Donna and I remind you that the 94.7 match of the day this afternoon is Thompson Tigers taking on the Anarchy Roos at the Godfrey Street Thunderdome from 1:30 this afternoon on 94.7 The Pulse. We're going to have a great afternoon in footy. Donna and I are going to go out. Donna will be playing netball, and I might have a look at it in Inverleigh this afternoon. Can't get in front of me on the TV, Donna. You know what the contract says. Everyone have a great afternoon in footy. Go the Mighty Pies tonight against Geelong at the cricket ground, as Bobby Davis used to say. Have a great afternoon in footy. We'll see you all again next Saturday morning. From Donna and I, it's bye for now.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. We're here to tell you how football is strong.